One of the questions my mentees and the people that I coach asks is, how much money do I need to start a domiciliary care agency? And I always say, it depends. Now, my name is Cherish, and this is another video in the home care series. I am a qualified social worker of over 15 years. I am also a registered manager for a domiciliary care agency. So please do like, subscribe and share. If this is your first time, welcome. If you are a return viewer, lovely to have you once again. Thank you for joining me. So, how much money do you need to start your domiciliary care agency? As I said, it depends. Now, this may not be the answer that you wanted to hear, and I understand, but I'll talk you through some of the reasons why I say it depends. Now, you're going to need some money. Yes, absolutely. However, how much you need depends on numerous factors, and I'll talk you through some of them. One of the first things that people ask is, do I need an office? This is where expenses may come into it. Do you need an office? My answer to that is no. However, it depends on your situation. For example, if you live in a home where you have a spare room, where you can have private conversations, where you can keep secure documents, then you can start off from home. Therefore, you will not need to have the added expense of renting an office. However, if you do not have a space at home that you can work from, then you are going to need an office. So right from there, one person may have a zero expense on the office space. Another one may have a considerably bigger expense just on needing an office space. Again, other factors that take into play, your skills. I remember when I first started my business, I have graphic design skills that I have learnt and gathered through my course of entrepreneurship. So I was able to design my own website, sort out my own domain name and my own custom emails, design my own brochures, for example. Another person may not have those skills. Therefore, you are going to need to outsource those tasks and hire someone to design your brochures, design a website, design a logo, set up your stationery and your custom emails, and therefore that's an expense. So if you have those skills, that's an expense that you may not need to have. If you don't have those skills, then you will need to outsource it. And how much you pay for that? Well, that's as long as a string. So people that have paid thousands and thousands of pounds for a website. And there are other sources where you can pay £200, £100, £300 for a website. So it really just depends on your skills. It depends on what you know and who you know. And this sometimes is the value of having a mentor that has been there before you, because they might be able to point you in the direction of saving some money and perhaps getting services that are equally as effective but cost effective, providing you with good value. So on this basis alone, if you are someone that can work from home, that can do your own logos, do your own graphic designs, right now you are at zero. Another person, just based off of these two things alone, could already be in the thousands of pounds worth of expenses. Do you need support with your policies and procedures? Are you going to buy your policies and procedures? Can you create them yourself? These are all expenses. You know, I remember when I first started, I made some mistakes, such as I started off getting a care management system, paying for that up front, which now when I look back, I was like, it was absolutely ludicrous. I didn't need that. Why did I need that? I didn't have any clients, I didn't have any staff, but I paid that for a good couple of probably 3+ months until it became unattainable for me and it just didn't make any sense. So this was a mistake that I made. And this is a mistake that, again, I teach people, to really curb your expenses initially. I think you get excited. I've got this new business. I'm starting this new business, and you start pumping money into things that aren't necessarily important. You want to be able to focus your initial expenses on what is necessary. If there's something that you are going to spend money on each and every time, that I would agree with, it is in marketing and client acquisition, because ultimately getting those clients is what's important for you to generate revenue. So any activities that will cause you to gain clients, I would always say prioritize. A lot of the times I see people wasting money on branded stationery and fancy folders and really unnecessary stuff. Things that would be nice to have, absolutely, but in the beginning stages are not necessary. It's not necessary for you to spend thousands of pounds on uniform for staff, for carers, when you don't have clients yet. It might be more cost effective for you to get a dozen tunics or polo shirts, etc., for your staff in various sizes. You might say, oh, well, mediums and larges are the common sizes, so I'll get 4 mediums, 4 larges, 1 small, 1 large, and that's it. Things of that nature, until you have a clear idea of where you are headed in your business. So you want to be able to streamline your expenses. So again, when people ask, how much money do I need to start a care agency? I always say it depends. It depends on what your needs are. It depends on what you can do. Another key place right from the beginning that you may be spending money on: registered manager. If you are someone who cannot be the registered manager, before you even submit your application to the CQC, you are going to have a registered manager. That is an expense right from the get-go that you are going to have to spend on. Whereas if you are someone who is going to be able to be the registered manager for your business, again, the average registered manager's salary at the moment is about, the least you'd find is about 30,000, 35,000. So you can imagine that if you need to hire a registered manager up front, you are already 30, 35,000, 40,000. It's already being accounted for before you even send off your CQC application. So it really depends on the individual's circumstances and what you have available to you, what skills you have, etc. So there is not a one size fits all. But yes, you will need some money, and I would say that, prioritize marketing, prioritize client acquisition, prioritize things that are going to get you clients into your business, because that is ultimately what will what generates your revenue. Not help, is what will generate your revenue. So give that importance. A lot of people spend money on some of the fancier things, unnecessary things, but they're not spending money on marketing, on advertising, on getting clients. And therefore they are literally bleeding cash, and you really want to avoid that as a new business. So I hope you have found this video useful. If you have, please do like, subscribe and share. Comment down below if you've had any experience and what your experience was as a new provider, and ways that helped save you cash in the beginning of your journey. It would be very useful for others who are embarking on this journey to know also, and just to add on to anything else that I have said. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.